Let me summarize by saying we know that Iran has much stronger and concentrated nationalism than any other country in the Middle East. We know that many other countries in the Middle East look at Iran as a threat, and for good reason. We also know that the MEK provides the best avenue for change, and it's why that Iran considers the MEK as a significant threat to their regime. I would call on Secretary Clinton and Secretary Panetta to acknowledge the U.S. commitment, the promise that we made, the contract that we made with the Ashraf residents to provide for their protection. Let's quit hiding behind the lame excuse that that's now an Iraqi problem. As a reason, that gives us a reason to stand by and watch, and that's not a reason at all. Again, I say use the tools that are available. We've got a very strong economic tool, and we certainly have got diplomatic tools that we can use to adjust Maliki's attitude and his actions toward the residents of Ashraf. We, the United States, as I said before, are a great nation, but we are not in the eyes of the rest of the world if our word is not our bond, and if we do not honor our commitments and our promises. This is a disgrace for America, in my opinion. If President Maliki is so weak that he can't control his armed forces, or if he in essence is using his armed forces to attack, harass, and in the case of April to slaughter the residents of Ashraf, then it's a clear indication that he is nothing more than a puppet for the current Iranian regime. Today it is clear that the current regime in Iran needs to change, and the MEK with their platform of human rights and equality is the one that they fear. We should join the UK and our European allies and remove the MEK from the FTO list, allowing them to continue to bring maximum pressure on the current regime. This, combined with the strength and courage of those individuals living in Iran today who want their freedom, and especially the women and the youth of that country, offers the greatest opportunity for seeing Iran with a government that is sensitive to the needs of the people of Iran, and the greatest opportunity for all the citizens of Iran to enjoy the basic human rights and freedoms that the rest of the free world enjoys. Thank you very much.
Privileged to be here and to be learning so much about the issues of concern to all of us gathered in this room. And I think it's only appropriate to start, because I haven't had a chance to do so, by offering my condolences to all victims of Iranian government violence and terrorism, and particularly to the victims in Camp Ashraf and their families here today. I like to think, because I served for 6 years as the Senior Foreign Policy Advisor to Senator George Mitchell on the Hill, that I have a good appreciation for the politics of international challenges, about the issues of democracy in Iran, about the issues of human rights in Iran, is that often for the United States we see a significant conflict in our foreign policy between the values that America has held dear and indeed was founded upon, and the interests of the United States of America as it plots its foreign policy and manages the affairs of state. And what is extraordinary about this set of issues is that in very important ways, values and interests are joined in a common framework for approaching the questions of Iran and democracy and human rights. So this clash that I often teach about in the conduct of foreign policy, which so often leads to inconsistency, to reversals of fortune, to charges of hypocrisy, actually has an opportunity to be reconciled in the context of the issues that we're talking about today. Now, this is in many ways the biggest strength that this community, that the community gathered here today has, as it seeks to galvanize action and draw attention to the very significant challenges in U.S. foreign policy. But it doesn't mean that the practical path is necessarily simple or easy. in that context, I think it's very important for us to remember when we talk about the issues that motivate us that the United States is in a period in which it is really begun to look inward.